Bats are mammals of the order Chiroptera. With their forelimbs adapted as wings, they are the only mammals capable of true and sustained flight. Bats are more agile in flight than most birds, the second largest order of mammals after rodents. Bats comprise about 20% of all classified mammal species worldwide, with over 1,400 species. This ability, coupled with the ability to navigate at night by using a system of acoustic orientation called echolocation, has made the bats a highly diverse and populous order. Bats are particularly abundant in the tropics, but are found worldwide except in polar regions and isolated islands. All bats have a generally similar appearance in flight, dominated by the expanse of the wings, but they vary considerably in size. Bats vary in color and in fur texture. Facial appearance, dominated by the muzzle and ears, varies strikingly between families and often between genera. Wing proportions are modified according to the mode of flight. The tail and the membrane between the legs also differ, perhaps as adaptations to feeding, flight, and roosting habits. Finally, bats vary in the postures they assume when roosting, particularly in whether they hang suspended or cling to a wall, and in the manner in which the wings are folded and used. Bats provide humans with some direct benefits at the cost of some disadvantages. Bat dung has been mined as guano from caves and used as fertilizer. Bats consume insect pests, reducing the need for pesticides and other insect management measures. By eating insects, bats save U.S. agriculture billions of dollars per year in pest control. Some studies have estimated that the service to be worth over $3.7 billion per year, and possibly as much as $53 billion per year. This value does not, however, take into account the volume of insects eaten by bats in forest ecosystems and the degree to which these benefit industries like lumber. It also doesn't take into account the critical importance of bats as plant and crop pollinators, so the actual monetary worth of bats is far greater than $3.7 billion per year. All healthy bats try to avoid humans by taking flight and are not purposely aggressive. Most bats are about the size of a mouse and use their small teeth and weak jaws to grind up insects. You should avoid handling bats because several species, such as the hoary or big brown bats, have large teeth that can puncture the skin if they are handled improperly. Less than 1% of the bat population contracts rabies, which is a much lower rate of incidence than other mammals. Still, you should not handle or disturb bats, especially those that are active and appear sick during daylight hours. Bats are very beneficial to backyard gardeners and should be welcomed. There are a few ways you can attract bats to your garden. Number 1. Find out what bats live in your area. A little research can go a long way toward creating an appealing environment for local bats. Number 2. Offer a water source. Bats can lose 50% of the body weight in water in a single day. Number 3. Create a diverse garden. Fragrant flowers, herbs, and night-blooming plants attract nocturnal insects, which in turn lures bats. Number 4. Build or buy a bat house. To have bats roost in your yard, they'll need a place to roost. And finally, number 5. Try to avoid all chemicals. Toxic chemicals have proven to be a detriment to wild animals.